Hey friends, it's Elizabeth Morse from Cooking Out of the Box. I wanted to talk to you today about a fun recipe that I think is a great fit for this holiday season. I was kind of trying to come up with something really fun, really unique, and frankly, especially Thanksgiving is really pretty much filled with all those things that we make that are traditions in our family, and I think a lot of people have favorites already. So one thing that stood out to me is that when I'm cooking, it seems like every single time I get in the kitchen for a big day, 10 zillion kids, grandparents, everybody's kind of stumbling in going, I'm hungry. And frankly, kind of annoying to have people preparing stuff when you're trying to cook for a bunch of people. So what I decided to do is put together a nutritious but really yummy kind of festive muffin recipe. And I added a bunch of Greek yogurt, so there's protein, got mandarin oranges and cranberries, so lots of vitamin C, also tastes great. And you can make these up ahead of time and just kind of have them sitting around. So when those bunches of intruders hit your kitchen, you can be like, scram, get out of here. I've got this yummy thing already made for you. Okay, so let me tell you what's in it. It's pretty easy, mostly pantry staples. I would say the only kind of unusual things are the mandarin oranges, which is in a can. Yogurt, I like to use Greek yogurt because I like the viscosity. It's a little thicker. And then also some dried cranberries. These are optional, but I really like them. And then the rest of the things are definitely things that we've already got on hand usually. I've got a stick of melted butter already in my mixer here. And then I'm gonna do a teaspoon of baking soda. I'm gonna do a teaspoon of baking powder. And a teaspoon of salt. Okay, so I've got that. Then 1 cup of brown sugar. You can see I've already kind of gotten that packed in. I'm gonna go ahead. So this is even the best part. These mandarin oranges are in light syrup. If you've got heavy syrup, no big deal. But I'm just gonna open this. This is one of those peel back cans, and dump the whole thing, juice and all. Okay, so you've got orange bits, and you've also got all that juice, and that's gonna flavor up your muffins. And then I'm gonna put in 2 containers of Greek yogurt. These are 5 ounces. I happen to have lemon on hand, and I thought that would probably be pretty good with these citrusy muffins, but my original recipe just called for plain. You can be flexible there. So I'm gonna dump these guys in. It smells yummy. Okay, I'm gonna just give that a little mix. And then while that's mixing up, we're gonna add 2 eggs. Pretty good. So 2 eggs, I use large eggs. And the second one. Okay, get that mix in. Gosh, we're almost done. Vanilla, this is my homemade vanilla. It's not actually a bottle of booze, which is what it looks like. But yeah, just a teaspoon of vanilla extract or flavoring. It's looking yummy. Okay, that's pretty good. You can see this goes together really quickly. I've got 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm gonna add that in. Turn that on really slow so the flour doesn't get everywhere. They smell delicious. Let's give that another minute to mix up real good here. And then the last thing I'm gonna put in is my dried cranberries. Again, those are optional, but I really like them. Another thing that would be tasty, would make them a little bit less nutritious, but also really good, is if you wanted to throw a handful of chocolate chips. Some people really like orange and chocolate. I know I do. That would be yummy as well, if you didn't want to use the dried cranberries. Okay, this is looking pretty good. I'm gonna turn that off and add in a cup of these guys. There's probably about a cup in this little bag here. Smells really good. A little more. Okay, let me mix those in. And then, so in my neighborhood right now, we're doing kind of a, like we're thankful for our neighbors thing. Normally I would use just my regular muffin tins, but I actually grabbed some of these at the dollar store, and I should be able to make 18 muffins out of this batch. And they actually came with little lids, so when they're done, I'm gonna snap a lid on and deliver them to some of my neighbors as a thank you for being great parts of our community. Okay, this looks great. I'll show you what it looks like here in a second. Scrape off my beater. You guys can probably hear my dog snoring over in the corner. He's my helper, but he doesn't really help, he just snores. Okay, let me show you what this looks like. Kind of just looks like cake batter, a little bit thicker maybe. You can see all the yummy orange. And then I like to use a little scooper just because it keeps it a little bit tidier. Ooh, they smell yummy. So you're gonna fill these little cups. And again, you don't have to use the paper cups. You can certainly use a greased muffin pan or one of those non-stick ones if you have it. And put a little bit more in that one. And that works just fine, but since I'm giving these for gifts, I don't want people to have to do dishes and return them to me. So I thought this would be an easy way to go. All right, so I'm gonna fill these up, almost done. And then we're gonna pop them in the oven, and I'm gonna check on them right at 20 minutes. They might need to go as long as 25, but I'm gonna check them at 20 because I don't like these to be too overcooked. Like them to be nice and fluffy, still moist, but cooked all the way through. Just a few more scoops. And again, these are filled about half to 3/4 of the way. And if you use a different size muffin tin, I have a friend who only likes to make those jumbo muffins, and you wouldn't get quite as many, but whatever you've got on hand will work just fine. Okay, so I've got these ready. I'm gonna put them in the oven on the center shelf for 20 minutes, and I'm gonna check them, and I'm gonna come back and show y'all what we've got. Stay tuned. Okay, everybody, I ended up letting them go 25 minutes. I checked them at 20, they weren't quite done. The house smells amazing. This is what they look like. Very delicious, and I hope you give them a try and that your family enjoys them as much as mine.